Hey everyone, this is a response to two videos that Sean of Sean's View Entertainment did yesterday and just recently, just moments ago now, today. First of all, let's talk about yesterday's videos that he did. Video he did yesterday. One that really stuck out to me was the rumored report of a Survivor Series main event, Survivor Series elimination match main event that could possibly happen, not saying it would. He mentioned that on one side would be Team CM Punk and on the other would be Team Bring It, in other words, Team Rock. Now he said that there could be rumored members on both teams. He said on Punk's side you could have Punk, you could have Lesnar, you could have Ziggler, Del Rio, and Big Show. And then he said on the other side you could have Rock, Cena, Triple H, Sin Cara, and Rey Mysterio. Well, here's the thing about that. I think you need to take out a few names when it comes to some of those matches. Now, I'm not going to say specifically who you should take out, but I think Sean and anybody else watching this, everybody pretty much knows what names you could take out. But I'm not denying or saying something like this could happen, but I don't know if it would be Team Bring It or Team Rock that would be facing Team Punk, or if it would be Team WWE. Let's face it. When you watch Monday Night Raw, and even though I didn't see it this past Monday night, from what I have been seeing this past week, or for the past few weeks, the past month, it seems that from what I have seen on a personal standpoint, as a fan, is WWE is looking towards a storyline where CM Punk and now along with Paul Heyman and maybe those that associate with themselves with them, become like an outsider group, like basically anti-WWE. You know, even though they're part of the company, they're more like, hey, we're anti-WWE. You know, we're not really part of the company, even though we're under contract with them or whatever. We're more anti-established. We're more like, hey, we do what we used to do on the independents, whether you like it or not. So, or something like that. So that's what I think it mainly could be. I mean, it could be Team Bring It, it could be Team Rock, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's more so going to be something like Team WWE versus Team Independent or Team Revolution or whatever you want to call it. Team Punk maybe, I don't know. But here's the thing though about the members. Like I said, there are certain members you could take out and maybe put in. Now I do agree that maybe if the WWE, as you said, are rumored to be trying to do, and that's get Rock to be part of the team, then I could see, here's what I definitely see. I could definitely see maybe Rock, Cena, and Punk being part of it. I mean, Rock, Cena, and Triple H being part of that. Maybe. But if not Rock, then according to a rumored poster that's been released around the internet, I could see Undertaker. Get my drift? I could see him as one of the members. Mysterio and Sin Cara I could see because that would help build them up as a team, even if they want to make them a tag team, as well as really put a lot of stock behind Sin Cara and put a lot of stock back behind Rey Mysterio. That's just the way I look at it, if they wanted to add those two. But then again, you got other people that might benefit more so from this matchup as being part of Team Rock or Team WWE, what do you want to call it. I could see people like, say, maybe The Miz, believe it or not, could benefit from that. Because think about it, Miz is everything that CM Punk currently, I guess, if you want to say, is against. I can see Miz maybe doing that for one night. Not saying he would. Excuse me, please. Just some people outside. But anyway, I could see maybe Miz being part of something like that. And you know what? I could see Kane being part of that or something. I don't know. But again, there are certain members that I would take out, and maybe certain people I could see in there. Like on Punk's side, as you say, which is being rumored and reported. I don't think I'd see Del Rio. More so, I'd see people like maybe Big Show and maybe Punk, and possibly because of his scheduling, the way his contract schedule is, I could see someone like Lesnar maybe. Maybe I said. But I could also see, believe it or not, I could see Daniel Bryan as a part of that. And you know what? Maybe I can even see, let's say, a mystery partner, if you know what I mean. I could see WWE, if they were to go with this match, as you said, I could see WWE doing $1 Million Man, $1 Million Team, $1 Million Man Survivor Series thing from 1990 with Punk and his team. I could see Punk saying, okay, Big Show's my partner. I got Lesnar to be my partner. I got D. Bryan to be my partner. Oh, and guess what? I got a mystery partner you don't know. But who could that mystery partner be? Well, it could be maybe a certain champion on a certain show that you can only see on YouTube here in the States or by downloading. Tony, if you know what I mean. But again, like I said, there are certain people I would take in and certain people I would take out, because there are some names that, as you said, that are being rumored to be part of these teams that I don't see, if the match becomes a reality, being part of the team. Now, and I apologize for those people outside. They talk a lot loud. I have the window open, so what are you going to do? But anyway, that's one response. And Sean, if you want to counter response to this, go ahead, be my guest. Also, you mentioned just moments ago about Vince McMahon going nuts backstage. And you're right, this is not a surprise to anybody that follows WWE, that follows the inside news, if you will. You see, Vince McMahon has a lot on his mind, as you said. He's basically got so much on his mind, but it's not just with WWE. Whether Vince McMahon wants to admit it or not, he's got a lot going on when it comes to his wife's Senate campaign, because he's constantly plugging money into that campaign to get her that Senate seat, in Washington, D.C. That's what he's doing. He's constantly plugging money out to that while trying to put on a good product. But you see, it's also the fact that I think, in my honest opinion, and you may agree with this, Vince McMahon is starting to realize, in a sense, that everybody's getting tired of the PG era. They want a more edgy, more aggressive era again. They want something maybe similar to the Attitude Era, if not just back to the TV 14 rating. And I think that's kind of getting to him because he knows that's what they want, but because of what's going on with the campaign with Linda and the fact that they want to put a good image for WWE out there, and more so now that they have this Saturday Morning Slam, which is an okay show, it doesn't surprise me that he would lose it backstage. He would make a scene. And as far as like what Ryback goes, he's upset that Ryback looked weak against Jack Swagger. Maybe, I don't know if he looked weak or not this past Monday with Jinder. But here's the thing. When Vince McMahon, and I'm pretty sure anybody watching this knows this, when Vince McMahon puts his mind behind something, or puts his stock, if you will, behind somebody he wants to push to the moon, like say Ryback, then you know damn well that Vince McMahon ain't going to want to see that guy being portrayed as weak. Even if it's against a former world champion and All-American Jack Swagger. What he's going to want is for him to take someone like Jack Swagger and basically beat on him, destroy him like he's done everybody else. And you see, that's what he wants, but what he doesn't realize is it's not easy But the thing is, what he doesn't realize, and I'm sure Triple H realizes this more than anything, and anybody else realizes this, is Jack Swagger's not the kind of guy that you could just destroy like that. You can't constantly make someone like Ryback look, invincible. You gotta show, yeah, the guy's undefeated. Yeah, the guy is a freak of nature, but he's also vulnerable. He's also human. So, and again, I can understand about that. But what's really, to me, the real reason, and I can probably understand why he was also upset with Zack Ryder, David Otunga. I get that too. But here's another thing. And of course, well, before I get that, you also want to add in the Caitlyn winning the Battle Royal instead of Eve, who was supposed to win. Like I said, who was supposed to win. Hold on for a second. Sorry about that, I had to shut the door, the bird gets loud. But anyway, you also add in the fact that Caitlyn won the Battle Royal a couple weeks ago instead of Eve, who was originally supposed to win and everything. Then you kind of understand why Vince McMahon is frustrated the way he is, if you will. Also add in the fact that if he lost it backstage this past Monday in Chicago, as being reported, I'm pretty sure, you got to understand why. It wasn't just because, as some people would say, Raw was a clusterfuck, excuse my language, but it was also due to the fact that they were in Chicago, a pro wrestling ROH independent wrestling town, as well as the home of his WWE champion CM Punk, who he's trying to portray as a heel, but gets constantly cheered. Even when he said, "Oh, I'm not going to wrestle tonight. I'm taking a personal day. It's Labor Day. I'm out of here." They still cheer him. When he came back and attacked Cena in the backstage area, from what people said, costing Cena his match, people still cheered him. After Raw went off the air, he comes out to his music again, comes out to the arena, drives back, comes out to the arena. What happens? People still cheer him. And you see, that, again, would drive anybody insane. I'll be honest with you, because if you're a chairman of a company, you're like, oh man, I want this guy to be booed. I want this guy to be booed to the rafters. He's a heel now. But yet they're cheering him. What do I do? What do I do? You know what Vince McMahon needs to do, like a lot of people said, he needs to finally step down when the time is right. And if it's rumored that he's going to step down probably by the next few months, if not by the end of the year, so be it. If not, what Vince McMahon needs to do is allow Triple H, Stephanie, and anybody else he could trust to take over the reins. You see, I'm pretty sure Triple H, he hears about this, Stephanie sees this, and they'll probably hears about it and sees it, and they're like, you know what? He needs to give us more responsibility. He needs to give other people more responsibilities. I mean, if I'm Vince McMahon, and I'm in Chicago, home of my WWE champion CM Punk, then what I do is I don't book a Raw in that show where he's champion. No. I book a SmackDown in Chicago while he's champion. And what I do is I put in canned heat, if you will. I put in canned booze, if you know what I mean. That's what I would do. I wouldn't, just allow it to happen. I would put in canned heat, if you will. That way, you could at least say, hey, even his hometown hates his guts. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I can understand completely why he would lose it backstage after last week and this week. I completely understand that. I mean, my mom, believe it or not, is basically the kind of person that my mom, basically is in a situation, if you will, taking my time there. My mom is in a situation, if you will, to where, like some people, she works, she's a preschool teacher, but she also goes to school. Now, fortunately, she only has to do 2 nights of school a week, and that's it. And it's English. So it's an English 7 class at Las Positas College. But anyway, she does that, and then she comes home. All the other times she comes home after work and has to work on her homework, or she's got to plan out the activities. Activities maybe for the kids the following day or week at her job. So yeah, it could be stressful at times. She could show stress, and the same goes with anybody else. She has told me that there are some teachers she works with that attend 3 to 4 classes at Las Positas College, and it gets stressful for them. So the fact of the matter is, if it gets stressful for them, they end up losing it. They end up losing it sometimes, and they end up getting mad for, not just because they're tired, but because everything's frustrating them. Because they don't have time to do certain things. So again, I can understand why Vince McMahon and Sean, I'm sure you and anybody else watching this can understand why he would lose it backstage. Because it's frustrating to him that he wants certain things a certain way, but yet he can't have it. And again, if he wants CM Punk to be over as a heel and booed by his own hometown crowd, I would have planned a SmackDown, a special edition of SmackDown in that crowd, to be taped and aired on Friday. And I would have inserted canned heat, canned booze in there just to get him over as a heel, even if it wasn't real. I mean, you think some of the cheering that people like, say, Sheamus may get? That Sheamus may get sometimes in certain towns and everything? Sorry about that, dog's barking a lot. But like I say, you think that the constant cheering that Sheamus gets, I have to shut the window because you can even hear the dog. But again, you think the constant cheering that Sheamus gets from the crowd, even on SmackDown, is legit cheering, is legit pops? At times it is, but you can also hear, but you can tell it's filtered in sometimes, it's canned in. You know what I mean? I mean, you could take someone like Del Rio, who might get cheered in Mexico, believe it or not, or in certain areas, like say San Diego, El Paso, wherever, and doing a live taping, he could get cheered, but when you watch the taped version of SmackDown, he gets booed. So again, it's understanding why Vince McMahon would get frustrated this past week and blow a gasket, because of the fact, one of the main reasons is because you're in that town, Chicago, like I said, which is an independent, ROH pro wrestling town. That's basically like CM Punk, is anti-WWE establishment, anti-WWE grounds. I mean, if you're going to go there, you do a SmackDown there, or what you do is you do a taped Raw, if you will, because it's Labor Day, because that's Labor Day. What they should have done is they should have did a taped Raw the day before in Chicago, and then it would have given them enough time to filter in the boos. You know what I mean? So, but that's just my response to you, Sean. I'm sorry this video went a little long. I had to go shut the door because the bird was getting loud. We constantly have a dog barking outside. So, and of course, had some people talking. But again, that's just my response to Sean's 2 videos that he did on his channel. Anybody else wants to respond? Go ahead, comment down below. I'll talk to you all later.